Welcome, stranger. My name is Baltram. Have you come to stock up on food? I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you. I don't have much in stock right now, but I'll be getting a new delivery soon.
But that's terrible.
Have you got a job for me?
No, I already have an errand boy.
It's not what my husband
Try the other merchants.
Show me your wares.
That's not what my husband thinks. I won't tell her.
Hey, you! What are you doing here?
I wouldn't know how that is any of your business. Get lost!
Someone's got to do the work.
Ah, there you are again.
And it's gonna get even worse.
Show me your wares.
And it's going to get even worse. That's an open secret. Go away, don't tell me that. Now that's typical, isn't it? He simply talks too much.
Hey, Innos be with you, stranger. If you're looking for a good selection for the traveler, then you're in the right place. But I'm warning you, if you're planning on helping yourself without paying, I'll call the city guard.
Just a moment. Do I look like a thief?
Bah! You won't be the first one to make off with my things today.
Somebody stole from you.
I can't prove it. The fellow was damn clever. Introduced himself as Ringaroo, if that really is his right name. He's been hanging around the marketplace the last few days. And every evening he gets plastered at the beer stand down the street. I bet the bastard is drinking my money. I only looked away for a moment, and my purse was gone.
If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
I could get your gold back for you.
Oh? And why would you do
Things
that?
like that. He simply talks too much.
I'm looking for clues to the Thieves Guild.
I might well be able to help you. Listen, if you get my gold back for me from that Rengaroo fellow, I'll tell you what I know.
You don't say.
Why didn't you call the city guard?
The guards only
Don't tell this
respond
guy.
if a thief is caught in the act. And when I noticed my purse was missing,
That's terrible.
the bastard was already gone.
If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
How much gold was in that purse?
50 gold
I can't take care of
pieces.
everything for
It's quite a
everybody.
lot in these crappy times.
Everybody knows by now.
I'll see what I can do.
Be careful. If you just
Really?
knock
How
the bastard
interesting.
down, the city guard will get involved. Lately, things have been getting really tough here. Since the paladins came to town, the guards have been cracking
That's
down
not
on
what my
brawlers.
husband thinks.
So think of something.
I shall.
Honestly, I witnessed it myself. Who says things like that?
About the
He simply
thief.
talks
Yes, how's it going? Have you caught him? And much more importantly, do you have my
what
gold?
husband thinks.
I'm still working
Who
on
says
it.
things
Then
like
see to it that you get my gold back.
Now that's typical, isn't it?
Show me your wares.
That's not what I heard. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. That's an open secret. I don't believe that. He'd better shut up.
Show me your wares.
I don't believe that. He had better shut up. That's what I've always said. I won't tell her a thing from now on. I can't take care of everything. It works all day, too. Everybody knows.
His decision, wasn't it? Where did you pick that up, then?
Hey,
Adanos be with you.
who are you?
I am Vatras, a servant of Adanos, the guardian of the divine and earthly equilibrium. What can I do for you?
Here, I've got a letter for you.
For me? Indeed. This is an important message you're bringing me. I wonder how you got hold of this letter.
I got it from Cavalorn, the hunter.
Cavalorn? Where is he?
He told me to tell you he couldn't make it and is headed for the meeting point. Whatever he meant by that.
I see that you have gained Cavalorn's trust. That speaks in your favor.
Tell me about the Ring of Water.
And why would I do that?
Cavalorn sent me to you.
And what did he tell you?
He said you're in dire need of more good people.
Aha. So, you want to join us, son?
Hey, you! Tell me about the Ring of Water.
And why would I do that?
I want to join the Ring of Water.
You do? Well, that means you have already fulfilled the first requirement.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, there must be someone among us who trusts you. Otherwise, you wouldn't even know about it. But I know nothing about you at all.
What do you want to know?
Well, you could tell me where you come from and why you have come to the city.
I carry an important message for the leader of the Paladins.
What is this message?
A large army is gathering as we talk, led by dragons and determined to conquer the country.
Dragons? You speak of beings which until now have only been mentioned in legends. How do you know this?
Zardas, the magician, told me. He sent me to warn the Paladins.
The necromancer. So he lives, and he sent you. Who are you really?
I'm a former convict from the penal colony of Corinus.
Good. Let us summarize. You are a former prisoner who has been told by Zardas, the necromancer, that dragons have come to conquer the country, and you have come to report this to the Paladins. That all sounds rather fantastic, but I cannot perceive that you are lying to me. Therefore, I must assume that your motives are honorable. I want to give you a chance to join the Ring of Water.
What must I do in order to join the ring?
Know that you take on great responsibility by joining the ring. I do not let just anyone join who comes to us and asks. If you want to join the ring, you will have to prove that you act like one of us.
And that means...
Before we let a young man join our ranks, he must have done a great deed for the ring. Only then can I begin to consider letting you help preserve the balance of forces on this island.
I have vanquished the Sleeper. Isn't that a great enough deed?
My ears hear many a tale these days, including the story about the banning of the beast called the Sleeper. I have not heard that this was achieved by a single man, although your eyes tell me that you are convinced you did this. That confuses me slightly, but I cannot be sure that my senses might not deceive me sometimes.
I have freed many people. The barrier is gone.
Even if you can really claim responsibility for that, the great event in the Valley of Mines has not only set free the water mages and other upright citizens. All the criminals of the entire country are roaming Corinus these days, harassing the population. The bandits have already taken over large areas of land outside the city. It has become all but impossible to leave the town and return unharmed.
So what would be an appropriate deed that might convince you?
Corinus is facing a great enigma these days. The number of people missing from the town seems to increase almost daily. If you can explain to me what happened to them, you shall have your place within the Ring of Water. However,
Yes?
you should take your message to the Paladins first. I consider it a matter of utmost importance. Talk to Lord Hagen.
But Lord Hagen is not going to receive me.
Yes, he will, no doubt about it, provided you become a member of a powerful community first. The Ring has far-reaching connections. We shall assist you in conveying your message as soon as possible. You should talk about this to Laris, whom I trust. He will help you.
What community should I join?
There are only 3 communities that have enough influence. These are the City Militia, the Monastery of the Fire Magicians, and the troop of mercenaries on the landowner's farm. The choice is yours, son. Laris can certainly assist you with this difficult decision. Talk to him about it.
I shall do that. Tell me about the Ring of Water.
Since you are not yet a member of our community, I cannot tell you everything, of course. But I shall tell you what I may.
Who are the members of the Ring of Water, then?
I cannot tell you that until you join the ring. But you will certainly have met some of them by that time.
Where are the other water mages?
They are exploring the ruins of an old culture northeast of Corinus. We suspect that those ruins might contain a passage to a part of the island which is as yet uncharted.
Tell me more about that uncharted area.
If you're interested in joining the expedition, I could send you to Satyrus with a letter. You can only participate, of course, as long as you're one of us.
Of course. What exactly is it that you do?
We stand between the Order of Innos and the chaos of Beliar. If one of the two sides should gain the upper hand, it will mean either total loss of freedom or deadly chaos. Therefore, we guard the balance between the two. That's what makes life in this world possible for all.
And what does that mean in concrete terms?
The fall of the barrier has evoked numerous threats. The bandits are probably the most obvious one. Not only has it become all but impossible to travel the island without being attacked, there's someone in town, too, who supports the bandits. We have found out that the bandits receive regular deliveries from a weapons merchant in Corinus. We try to find such people and keep them from endangering the city. If you can find out anything about this, let me know.
About this weapons dealer. How much do you know about the weapons dealer?
Ask Martin, the provisions master of the Paladins, about this. He should be able to tell you more. He has been tasked with unmasking the weapons dealer. You can find Martin in the harbor district. If you see a heap of crates, provision, and paladins, Martin won't be far.
Is there anything that could help me with my search?
You're a very persistent young man, but I actually can think of something that could make your tasks easier for you. I shall give you this ore amulet. You'll certainly be able to use it. It is an amulet of the searching will-o'-the-wisps. There are only very few of them. The will-o'-the-wisp that inhabits this amulet has very special properties. It can help you find things that normally elude the naked eye. You summon it by simply wearing the amulet. If it loses its power, or you cannot find it, simply put on the amulet again and it will reappear. The will-o'-the-wisp can detect weapons. It could be very helpful to you in investigating the weapons deliveries to the bandits. Treat it well, and it will never fail you.
A will-o'-the-wisp in an amulet?
Will-o'-the-wisps are admirable creatures. They consist of pure magical energy. They are bound to the magical ore in this world. It is their origin. It gives them their strength. I'm not surprised that you've never heard of them. They only appear to the person who bears the ore to which they belong. Will-o'-the-wisps living in the wild have been forcefully removed from their sources. They will attack anyone who approaches them. There is no way to help those pitiful creatures. You had better stay away from them.
Can the will-o'-the-wisp do more than that?
More than look for close combat weapons? Not unless you teach it. I think Riordian knows how to teach these beings. He is one of us, currently traveling with Satyrus. Perhaps he can tell you more.
Thank you. I shall take good care of it. I'm asking your blessing.
Why should I give you my blessing, stranger?
I want to start an apprenticeship with one of the masters in the lower part of town.
Go with the blessing of Adanos, my son. Wait, if you see Laris, give him this ornament and tell him that it needs to be returned. He'll know what to do with it. And Enos, in his wisdom, did so. That Enos created was destroyed by Beliar.
I'll never get this open without the right key.
Nothing could exist at all. No light and no darkness.
Hey! I've got Lamar's ledger right here.
Where did you get that?
That shouldn't interest you so much as the fact that your name is in it.
Give it to me.
What will you give me then?
I have no money to spare and can give you nothing but my heartfelt gratitude.
How about your approval, Master?
Has Vatras given you his blessing?
Yes.
And did you also get the blessing of a priest of Enos?
Yes, I did.
Then you shall have my blessing as well. No matter what path you decide to take pride in doing a good job, my boy.
Can you teach me how to pick locks?
If it weren't for you, I'd be paying Lamar for the rest of my life. I shall teach you what you want to know.
Can you sell me some lockpicks?
Well, all right, but they won't be of any use to you as long as you don't know how they work.
Hey! Teach me how to pick a lock.
All you need is a lockpick. If you move it carefully left and right in the lock, you can unbolt the mechanism. But if you move it too much or too fast in the wrong direction, it will snap right off. The more adept you become, the fewer lockpicks you are going to need. That's all there is to it, really.
Can you sell me some lockpicks?
If I have any left.
I want to start as your apprentice.
Great. You seem to know the basics already. Harrod thinks you're a good man. Thorben gave you his blessing. I'm not all that pious, but I'm fine with it. Constantino says you can sign up wherever you want for all he cares, and Matteo says you're worth your weight in gold. This means you have the approval of all masters. You can work for me at any time if you want.
I'm in.
You aren't going to regret this. I think we'll be able to work together well.
What are my tasks as an apprentice?
That's easy. Bring me as many pelts as you can get. I'll pay you a better price for them than any of the other traders would give you. Apart from that, you needn't show up here in the shop. I can get along just fine by myself.
And where am I supposed to sleep?
I don't have any room for you here. They're bound to have a bed for you in the hotel at the marketplace.
I've got a few skins for you.
Wolf skin, that's good. Ah, even a shadow beast skin. Those are worth a lot. Good work. Come see me again when you have more.
Show me your wares.
He can't keep anything to himself.
Where did you pick that up then?
He can't keep anything to
I've
himself.
got my own opinion about that.
You hardly know who to believe these days.
It can't go on like this forever.
There, where Adanos stood, was a place in which Enos and Beliar had no power. In this place, order and
Here's the book.
Thanks. You saved my butt. Lamar can get rather ugly. Here, take this as a reward. A very special beer. This is my last keg.
Can I get a drink here?
If you have gold, you can even eat here if you like.
Show me your wares.
delighted in all the beings equal. But so great
And how's business going?
Don't remind me. Lord Andre is serving free beer at the Gallows Square. Hardly anybody comes here now, except for the rich people from the upper quarter.
What's wrong with them?
Yeah, some of those swells could really get on your nerves. Take that Valentino, for instance. I can't stand the sight of him. But I can't pick my customers. I need every coin I can make. What little I had managed to save has been stolen, along with all my silver.
You've been robbed?
Yep, some time ago. It was still rather crowded that night, and I was doing the rounds serving beer. I wasn't gone long from behind the counter, but it was long enough for those bastards. I went to see the militia about it, but they couldn't find a thing, of course. Yeah, they prefer to get plastered on free beer.
Tell me about the missing townspeople.
I heard that a lot of them went missing down by the harbor. Small wonder with all that's going on down there. Even Thorben, the carpenter in the lower part of town, has lost his apprentice. Hakon, one of the merchants in the marketplace, had an especially strange tale to tell. He said that there was this fella that he used to bump into every day, and then suddenly he vanished off the face of the earth. He even went to see the militia about it. Townspeople all pretty much panicked after that. I don't know what to make of it. I think it's all nonsense. Corinthus is a rough city, and many dangers lurk outside her gates. Those who don't stay within the city walls will be attacked by bandits or eaten by wild animals. Yeah, it's that simple.
Look what I have here.
But this is Lamar's ledger. Well, what are you planning to do with that?
What is it with this Valentino?
He's filthy rich and has no need to work. And he brags about it to everybody, whether you want to hear it or not. He drinks a lot and always stays until the end, and then early in the morning he totters back to the upper quarter. It's the same every day.
Show me your wares.
But the light was a torment for Beliar. All that Inos created.
All civilian judges are to hand over their duties to the royal paladins, effective immediately. The Honorable Lord Andre is commanded to punish every crime or act of resistance against the king's...
Look what book I have here.
Lamar's ledger. How did you get hold of that?
Well...
If Lamar doesn't have it anymore, that's a good thing. But I'd rather have it myself.
Here, take the book.
Thanks. Take this as a reward.
What is this you've given me?
It is a key to the Gate of Wealth.
I have a few questions about the city. Tell me about the town.
Corinus is one of the wealthiest cities within the kingdom, even if it doesn't look like it at the moment. But since the Orc War started, trade has almost come to a complete standstill. The king has requisitioned the entire merchant fleet for military service, which means that hardly any ships come into the harbor now. So, the supply of goods is very scarce now, and many citizens of the town are very worried. Nobody really knows what the future will bring. There's basically nothing we can do but wait and see what happens. It's not like we can change anything.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Corinus. By the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following decree is hereby enacted. Due to the general situation, the forest and wilderness near the city are to be avoided for your own protection. Furthermore, any contact with the rebelling peasants...
But so great was the wrath of Beliar.
I agree with you completely.
He can't keep anything to himself.
That's exactly what I said.
There's nothing you can do about it.
I must be crazy. What are you doing here?
You should have known that.
Hey, Larish, you old scoundrel, how did you get here?
I was able to escape to the Valley of Mines just in time, together with Lee and some of the other boys. You remember Lee, don't you?
It's better to watch out.
Of course I remember Lee.
I got out of the colony with him then, just after the barrier was destroyed. He and his boys are now on the farm of Onar, the landowner. He made a deal with the farmer. He and his boys defend the farm, and Onar feeds them in return.
Let's wait and see what happens.
Vatras sent me. He told me to come to you when I needed help.
So you've already been to see Vatras? You must have made a lasting impression on him. Otherwise, he certainly wouldn't have volunteered my name. Especially not since the matter with those missing people still hasn't been resolved. Tell me what you need.
Vatras gave me this ornament to bring to you. He said it is to be taken back.
Of course. It's up to me, as usual. I might have known. I'll have to walk halfway across the island to take it back to the water mages.
I can take the ornament there for you.
I think I'd better take it there myself. But you could come with me. Only, I can't leave here at the moment. I need to keep an eye on the harbor.
Will it ever change?
What exactly do you do here at the harbor?
I can't talk about that. Vatras would have my head.
He doesn't see that. I can't help it.
I need your help.
And what exactly were you thinking of?
There's nothing you can do about it.
I need a better weapon.
There's nothing I can do about that, I'm afraid. Have you tried the marketplace?
Do you really believe that?
Nothing's ever gonna change that.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
I wouldn't have done that.
About those missing people. Tell me what you know.
The first was William, one of the fishermen here in Corinus. One day, he simply didn't return. At first, we thought that one of those sea monsters out there had eaten him in his boat for breakfast. But not too long afterwards, other people started disappearing from the town and the surroundings. Pretty random events, though. Everyone's at a loss so far. The way it looks, we'll just have to wait until we finally stumble across a clue.
That's been known a long time.
Isn't this a case for the militia?
The militia is pretty useless if you ask me. They're never going to clear this up. The missing people have just vanished into thin air.
That's nothing new.
You listen to the wrong people.
About those missing people.
I don't want to hear that.
Isn't this a case for the militia?
The militia is pretty useless if you ask me. They're never going to clear this up. The missing people have just vanished into thin air.
Tell me what you know.
The first was William, but everyone...
I agree with you completely.
I must talk to the paladins by any means.
What do you want from them?
They've got a powerful amulet, the Eye of Innos. I must have it.
And you think they'll give it to you? You'll never get into the upper end of town.
Do you know why the paladins are here?
Nobody knows for sure. Lots of people think it's because of the orcs, but I think there's another reason. It probably has something to do with the old penal colony.
That doesn't surprise me.
Vatras said you could help me join a community.
Getting tired of being the underdog, are you? All right, I see your point. I can exert my influence with the mercenaries if you want to join Lee. And I'm sure we can find a way to get you into the monastery soon. But the easiest thing would certainly be for you to join the militia. Which community do you prefer?
The mercenaries.
I'm sure that Lee will accept you, but first you're going to have to pass a test. Go and talk to Cord on Onar's farm. He can help you with your test. Tell him that you reside beneath my wing. He'll understand.
That's nothing new.
So what's your business with Vatras?
I've got this little agreement with the water mages, you see.
What kind of an agreement?
We work for them, and they see to it that our past in the penal colony doesn't get us into trouble.
You're talking about the Ring of Water?
You've heard of it?
Vatras told me about it.
You might have mentioned that right away.
I can't help it.
Tell me more about the Ring of Water.
The ring is to the water mages what the paladins are to the fire magicians. But, unlike the paladins, we operate in the background. The ring is a mighty weapon in the battle against the dangers that threaten the people of Corinus. But this only works as long as we keep the identity of all those secret who belong to the Ring of Water. So keep this to yourself.
Sure.
That's all just gossip.
Tell me more about Lee and his mercenaries.
What do you want to know?
I'm no better off myself.
How do I find the landowner's farm?
It's quite simple. You leave the seaport by the east gate and then follow the path towards the east. I can take you there if you want.
It's not what I heard.
Why aren't you with Lee and his mercenaries?
But I am, just not on the farm. You could say I'm our outpost in the city. We don't want the ship to sail without us.
It's really not my problem.
What ship were you talking about?
It's on the open sea harbor, behind the cliffs. Lee and a few of his people really want to get away from here. But that could take a while.
Why?
You'd better ask Lee about that. If you meet him, he's got plans.
That's all just gossip.
Tell me more about the mercenaries.
Well, if you're as tough as you were back then, you shouldn't have any problems with them. Most of them are ruffians, and if you can't stand up to them, you won't get far. If you're squeamish, you don't have a chance of joining them.
Why haven't I heard about this before?
He doesn't see that. I can't help him.
Do you know anything about a thieves' guild in town?
The questions you ask. Of course, there's a thieves' guild here, just like in every big city. And every petty pickpocket or fence is probably connected to it somehow.
Do you know where I can find the Thieves Guild?
No offense, but even if I knew, I wouldn't tell you anything. These people usually react very sensitively to things like that. If you want to get involved with them, you should be very careful.
It's better to watch out.
Can you teach me something?
Sure. I can help you become stronger and more dexterous if you like.